Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crossover. Starring Josh Johnson and Chris McGill. Featuring Christina Thorson. And of course, you, the Instagram live chat. Now, sit back and enjoy this week's edition of The Crossover. Powered by Card Ladder.
Yo.
Good evening.
Evening.
Got the Suns game on?
You know it. Hoping to hold on to this lead right now.
Those Pelicans without Zion, Herb Jones, and Brandon Ingram are still pretty tough.
They're a pesky bunch, aren't they?
They are.
They're a well-coached team. They hustle. I mean, add those three in, and they're pretty elite, man. They're a good squad.
I agree, and then throw in maybe a top pick next year.
God, dude. Man, everyone on Instagram is just loving this Lakers stuff. They're just like every night posting multiple things.
Yeah.
This is
it's all the media, it's the hobby, it's everybody.
Yeah. And people are like, who thought the Lakers? Nobody said the Lakers were going to be good going into this year, and it's obviously much worse than we thought.
Yeah, still early. I'm not writing them off yet.
Who's their third best player?
The Lakers' third best player.
Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves, I guess. Yeah, or Lonnie Walker. I don't know.
Who's their second best player?
Patrick Beverly? I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Make it stop.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have mail days this week?
I do. I have PSA return and a mail day.
Whew. Wow. Okay. Well, I bought a card this week, but Authenticator's willing. It'll be here by the end of the year.
I saw that purchase. That's a good one.
Yep. Megabid took it home.
Megabit. And people can get a hint by looking at my cards tonight.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, whenever you're ready.
They'll get a big hint. Okay, these two are not my cards, but they're still pretty sweet. So 2017 optic vinyl 1 of 1, PSA 10.
Oof.
PSA 10, 1 of 1. I know you like these optic vinyls. And then the better one, the 2016. So this is the first year of optic. 2016 gold vinyl 1 of 1, PSA 10 as well. That's pretty cool. They both got 10s.
Beautiful. Who are those? Are those Larry's?
Those are Larry's.
Congrats, Larry.
All right, and then my cards. Nobody cares about his. It's just about mine. I've never owned this one before, and I thought I should just go for it. Made a trade. This is the. How would you describe these? Is this the finest embossed gold refractor, or what's the deal?
Bingo.
The die cuts?
You can throw in die cut too if you're feeling fancy.
Because in the pop report, the other one is, the non-die cut is also labeled the same. It's just the number is different. This one's number 170, and the other one's, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying.
And then the big pickup of the week via Mercari. You know what Mercari is?
Yeah. What are you doing on Mercari, man?
Fishing for superfractors.
What? No way.
Topps Platinum Rookie Superfractor 1 of 1 Todd Gurley on Mercari.
Stop.
Seriously.
That's unbelievable.
Well, it was pointed out to me by a couple people like, hey, I found this card on Mercari. And then the Sports Card Detective, newer account, I believe, he found him on Facebook, and we made the deal on Facebook. Because I messaged him on Mercari like 10 times, didn't respond. I had to make an account just to...
The detective did some detective work, I see. Nice.
Living up to the name. Listen, what do you think this cost?
You said that's a Topps finest superfractor?
Platinum.
Topps Platinum? What year?
Rookie, 2015.
Few hundred?
Yep, 175.
Okay.
It just seems ridiculous to me to get a rookie superfractor for. Maybe I'm just a total idiot and I'm overpaying, but I don't know.
Always a good hedge. Okay, so is that that's
it.
Oh, that's nice. All
That's
right,
it.
nice. Props to you for keeping the football rolling in, man. I've completely shifted my attention to basketball.
You're not even like looking at McCaffrey's anymore?
No, football head. Look, I mean, I always appreciate football as the opening act to the NBA season, but now, it was good. It had its run.
6 weeks or whatever. You were really focused there.
I was really ready, and then okay. What about announcements? Do we have any announcements to make at this time?
Nope.
No, we do. Christina nods yes.
Well, I would just like you guys to reiterate about camera search.
Oh.
Yeah, we can reiterate about camera search. We have a brand new feature on Card Ladder called Camera Search. Much like the Sports Card Detective, it's true to its name. You can use your camera to search for sales of cards by either taking pictures of your cards or by just selecting a card from your camera roll. Few people were worried about if we get to see the images that they search with.
Oh, we definitely don't.
The answer is no, and we don't want to see those images. We don't know what you guys are taking pictures of. We're not going to see.
Or where you are when you're taking.
Or where you are. Yeah. Pass. That's a hard pass.
No, that's all local. That's not happening. Nope.
So don't even try surprising us with any pictures either, because we won't see.
PSA, if any of you marketing bros out there for your sweet companies need help naming your features, we're here for you. We know how to name features right to the point. Camera, search.
We do. Bill, aka Hot Sauce Sports Cards, pointed out a really nice use case for this feature. If you're trying to sell cards and you find a nice match using camera search, click the link that takes you out to the eBay listing, hit sell one like this, and a bunch of the legwork has already been done for you. So Bill has let me know that he's already been economizing by using that little workflow. So
Love it.
Yep, nice little use case.
Thank you.
So
Nick made a sweet video. Did you call out the video?
yeah, it was a nice looking video. You can see it on the Card Ladder social media platforms. Quick, concise video kind of showing a couple different uses. Oh, we've had people ask, can you take pictures of raw? Does it only work on graded? Do you want to speak to that?
Anything. It doesn't actually take into account the slab at all. It's literally just matching based on image recognition. So it's looking at the card itself. It's looking at the slab. It's looking at anything it can find, but it is not biased towards any grading company, raw or otherwise, in any way, shape, or form.
Nice. All right. Let's move on to the questions because there was an onslaught of them.
All right.
What are we doing here? We'll kick us off with the question of the World Series starts tonight.
Oh, it's tied, isn't it?
Does the hobby care who wins?
I care. I've been watching some of the games. It's honestly it's hard for me to stick with it, but this Bryce Harper story is fascinating to me. I'll be honest. Someone who was kind of this superstar coming out, right? If he came out today, it'd be like a superstar hobby guy, right? And then he kind of had this low for a while, switched teams, and now all of a sudden is having this massive resurgence, and both in the hobby and in real life, in baseball. And he's super clutch. Have you seen some of these home runs he's hitting? And there's TikTok videos of him hitting with what's that movie? Moneyball music in the back. It's there's just a lot of good content coming from it. I find it enjoyable.
Nice. Well, it's 6-5 in the top of the 10th. So look at that. Game one.
There you go.
Extra innings. Phillies lead. Do you have a rooting interest?
I guess I'm rooting for the Phillies because I like this Harper story. I'll be honest. I'm in on this Harper thing.
Friend
2 for 4 today.
Julian Schultz pointed out that Dusty Baker, manager of the Astros, is 73 years old and has never won a World Series. So there's that Astros storyline. There's the Bryce Harper, career comeback arc. Especially because Harper kind of got screwed when he left the Nationals and then they won. Let's go. Bryce's redemption arc.
But aren't the Astros the team that got caught cheating a couple years ago? I thought a lot of people don't like them because of that.
Yes, no, very true. But I guess there's only a few holdover players, and maybe even one of them's on the Phillies or something that wants. I don't know. I'm getting way lost.
And then you have the whole Philadelphia wins a World Series, enter a great recession, depression storyline as well.
Correct. Are you aware of this? Yeah.
Blame Philadelphia for the world's economic crisis.
Yes. It's the Groundhog Day for economic collapse.
Okay, well, and the Astros have not lost a game this entire postseason, and they're losing tonight, so that might end.
Wow, that's crazy. That does not happen very often in baseball. Okay.
They're like a dominant baseball team.
There's been quite a few good storylines in baseball this year, hobby-wise especially. Dude,
it's probably been the only two storylines to at least pull me in a little bit. The Cubs in 2016 was bigger, in my opinion. That pulled me in all the way. Were you in on that one?
Yep, I watched that whole playoff run.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then I see Schwarber from that Cubs team is back.
Yep, Phillies. That's the only way I know players. I'm like, that guy was on that 2016 Cubs team. Look at this guy.
Yep, exactly right. All right, let's get some more questions here. Cardboard Insights. Okay, I put this question up front just because I wanted to have it in the back of my mind as we answered all the rest. Cardboard Insights, I think, sort of rhetorically asks, is it just me, or is there a lack of emphasis on the hobby as just a fun way to spend time? Have we forgotten to put a spotlight on the hobby as a fun, recreational thing to do? And we've gotten so serious about it.
Yes.
We forgot to have fun.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't. You and I feel like that's our primary focus week in and week out. We try to make this show fun.
Yes.
That's always been our foundation. If we're not having fun, what's the point, really?
There could be other things we could be doing with our time.
If we really wanted to, if our focus was actually making money, we'd probably be, building other businesses. We'd be doing other stuff, right? We wouldn't necessarily just be sitting here buying cards all day.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such a good mentality to have, So many people have turned buying and selling cards into a part-time job or a supplementary source of income, and that's great, but maybe that's not, maybe there's other ways to actually enjoy the hobby more. And maybe it doesn't all have to come down to money, I guess. Yeah. So.
Well, that's kind of shifting back, right? People are having to look. If you're not making money, then you gotta look to something else to kind of keep you engaged. And if fun is that thing, then great.
Yeah, people end up buying some really weird asset classes, chasing the money. So I actually
use the word chasing. Do you
saw a nice tweet that's that crypto dick butts are the strongest NFT to lend against because they have the lowest default rate among NFT holders. So that's somehow we wove our way all the way to crypto dick butts being great to collateralize.
Well, it's finally time that we start the show with crypto dick butts. They've often ended the show, but tonight they're getting the.
You guys are in for a treat tonight. That's all right. Cardboard Insights, again, who's also getting the early MVP for Question Asker of the Day. Okay. Cardboard Insights says, I know intuitively why I sell a really important card. I want it to go to a, quote, good home. It's almost like some type of phantom stewardship in that we feel obligated to care for the card even though it's no longer ours. Is this a way to tell whether you truly love a card? To cast a wider net? Is this a way, or to cast a wider net, is this a way to tell if you are more of a pure collector if you care that the card goes to a good home.
Man, it's so interesting hearing all these topics come up. That was just everything in 2016 when we started. Like all these different things we keep hearing, fun, helping other collectors, collecting random players and sets. This stuff was commonplace back then, and now it's sort of creeping back, which is really exciting. It's fun. These topics are more fun to me. And remember how important it was to get certain collectors their PC guy? Like that was just like such a big deal, and it always has been, obviously. But I just remember that being such a big thing, and when we first started, especially with the '90s guys, it was like, I had Penny. There was a Grant Hill collector, a Tim Duncan collector, like obviously lots of Michael Jordan collectors, and so if you can help connect a big card to a player PC, then I think that's one of the most rewarding things in the hobby.
Definitely. A couple other reasons why it matters, maybe. One, so our dear friend Rodman, who we're gonna see in Dallas next week,
Sell out.
So he sold his Playmakers Theater Michael Jordan PSA 7. And when the card was in his possession, it was locked in. You never see it except for his Instagram post. It's been flipped around like 5 times.
Oh, no.
Since he gave it up. So, it's on. The card belongs to the streets now, as they say. It's been flipped around.
Early nominee for caption.
There we go. We just got that down. So, that's another thing about making sure a card goes to a good home, so that you don't see your once beloved card just hopping from one hand to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good for the other people who own the card. It's just all bad. So that's another reason about the why you want a card to go to a good home. It just, everybody wins when a card goes to a good home. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about on this show about how we find reasons to want to add cards to our PCs, but we also look for reasons to not add cards. And it's like if someone else holds a card that we don't enjoy watching them hold it, this reminds me of that. Like, I don't really want to watch my card be flipped around across 17 flippers. I'd rather just see it in a good home, not posted except for the one time they get it, and that's a good point.
All right. So next question from Adam Lefko. Well, he technically wrote, how would a low Luke Logoman sale impact the markets? So was he talking? Are we on Star Wars cards on question 3? I think he meant the Luca Logoman. Let me see if I can get a picture going of this card. I know Slab Stocks made a post about this today.
Everyone's got predictions all over the place on that post.
Yeah. Do you know how this came to be Hobby News? That this card is for sale?
Oh, I think PWCC started filming their videos, and they post them to like Vimeo or something where they host them or something, so people have a way to find them quicker.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't think these videos were supposed to go prime time yet.
Nope.
But
we're usually low key. We're usually the first ones to have them published.
Right. I know. So the hobby sleuths got a hot tip.
What do you think about that? I want your reaction.
To Vimeo?
No, not that stuff. Just the Luca.
Well, dude, my very first reaction was, how do I get this card? Because it's a very special card. But
you're supposed to look over at Christina right now. No, how do I get this card?
That's how you really know that. No, but then I thought about it a little bit, and I said, there's probably going to be an entity out there that's going to mega bid this card, or astro bid this card. What was our favorite turn of phrase?
Mega bid.
Mega bid. And there's just really no sense in competing against this entity for that card. And then that's the alt fund. They have the Curry NT RPA logo man. They have the Giannis NT RPA logo man. I don't see why they wouldn't go for the third one. And if that is the case, then A, there's almost no chance of winning, and B, there's no point in bidding it up. At that point, I'd rather see it go lower, and hopefully that can trickle down to make something down the line more affordable, like the Luka Prism Black if that comes out, or something like that. So ultimately, didn't take long to realize I had no business bidding on that card, that we had no business bidding on that card, but it was fun to entertain the thought for a few seconds.
It's one of those cards that you have to like get rid of your whole collection to have. And I feel like we've curated our collection to something that we really enjoy. What was that face for?
I saw I saw a comment that you can just read it on your own. Okay, go ahead, Christina, go.
So it's just, do you want to give up your entire collection for one card? And to me, it always comes down to no.
No, yeah, definitely not.
Can I give you a anecdote about this card?
Yeah, please.
It's similar to me with LeBron, but like you and I both have several different players that we collect.
Yep.
And Luka and Jordan are just not the players that you want to get their absolute best cards for. That's not their intent of collecting those two guys, at least for us. For people like us where we just don't have the financial means to get those, we've got other guys to get their best cards for, and you've got the best card of your other two PC guys.
Facts. I agree.
Like, this is not the purpose of collecting Luka.
Yeah, I totally agree. It wouldn't even be right. There needs to be like I'm gonna try to make a very weird reference. Like, what land as it develops over time, you get the layers, the different types of crusts in land. Christina, you should know. You should be able to. Land has different eras baked into the crust.
There are different layers of the earth.
Yeah, layers of the Earth's crust.
Yeah.
And for Michael Jordan and Luka, we're a middle layer. That's the layer of crust that we should be in. And it's good to know that there are deeper layers that get closer to the Earth's core that we might not ever occupy, and that's fine. Maybe that's even good. So yeah, you don't want to be the top dog of every PC you have. That almost borders on being boring.
Well, it's because also you can't be the top dog of. I mean, we can't be the top dog of MJ, and maybe Luka. You might have a shot at it with your head start, but realistically, I'm not sure you can unless that's literally your life's work.
Yeah. Nope. Fair. That's a really nice point.
I do want to just edit one thing that Josh said.
That's a nice cope. That's how we're going to cope.
He said,
I'm trying to help you.
We have the best cards of 2 of our PCs, but really it's 3.
But really it's 3.
I swear to God. I wish I hadn't listened throughout you.
Well, he was talking about Maxey and McCaffrey, right?
Oh, you also have that Jokic card.
Exactly.
I saved it.
See, but thank you for bringing up Jokic. He always gets forgotten. So, all right, let's go.
Dude, Biombo is solid tonight.
Bismack?
He's playing great. He's just rim running like a beast.
Let's go. What's the score now? That game's got to be pretty much over.
Yeah, they're up 15.
Okay.
Paul's pretty well nice.
All right. So the question was, if the card sells for low, how does it impact the market? What do you think about that?
I want to hear that. I can give you my take. Well, I'll just say this first, and then I'll send it to you to give your. I'm not really giving a good answer for this. I'm just kind of tired of people dancing on the grave of cards selling low right now. This is getting old. Why are we all excited to watch this card sell for low? That's the main topic of this. Aren't we excited to see this card hit public auction and see what it sells for?
I remember how excited I got when that Jordan PMG that Nat ultimately purchased in 2019 came out. We used to do auction watch parties for when cool cards.
And now we're shitting on it, waiting for it to tank or something. That's so weird to me.
Yeah, it is weird. It's a weird dynamic. It's hard to totally be in harmony with that dynamic, but
Especially when it's like, God, what a pathetic sale. It's going to sell for $2 million. Oh my God, what a disaster. Can you imagine?
Yeah. People like busting out their calculators to figure out how much of a percentage loss the sellers take. And like, he's going to lose between 48 and 51%. Oh boy, talk about a haircut. So, yeah, but hey, look, if people get joy from that, I'm not against blocking the joy, Go, look, enjoy, take joy in that. I see a lot of upside. Look, if this card does a dumb number, it doesn't change. It doesn't move anything forward. It just stays in the old paradigm of cards are overpriced. If it does a more palatable number, maybe it makes cards feel a little more accessible again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I mean, we're kind of getting there. I bought a really nice card last week, which is going to take forever to get here, but one day I'll post it. And I was going to say something. I got sidetracked. I forget.
You were kind of talking about you found an entry point on a few recently.
No, I was going to say that the thing that bothers me about us rooting, seeing people root down these prices or whatever, is that they usually turn around and say, well, this year to date, my portfolio is actually only down 4%, and that's because I chose stocks and like whatever boring. And it's basically like you guys are all idiots for buying these cards at peak and losing money. I'm the smart one because I diversified into whatever boring thing.
Right. Yep. That's very true. It does become that's where it's always been a dangerous temptation for hobby content creators, is when it becomes all about them and no longer about the hobby. Yeah, that's where it gets tricky. Okay. Cardboard Brownie coming in with a nuanced question.
Nice.
Recently, a lot has been said about auction houses running simultaneous auctions, including some with duplicate cards. Related to this, I wonder, how does an auction preview impact the market? So, for example, is it possible that a high-end Luka collector will not buy cards over the next month, knowing that the Logo Man RPA is coming to PWCC in November? So, isn't it beneficial to collectors when auction houses make their previews available, because it lets them know a more accurate menu of cards that will soon be available? And auction previews are good for the sellers because it gives buyers more time to prepare to bid. So basically, this is like an endorsement of the auction preview. What do you think about this?
I think Pac Nicholson's got to run for his money now.
Oh, why is that?
That's such a good question. I've never heard that question, and I like it because I do like it reminded me of Pac Nicholson because it's in the same vein of like preparation or planning for your PC, how you work around different timings and prices and money allocation. It's an interesting thought. I like it. I had a card come up recently on auction that I really, really wanted, and I was preparing to bid for it. I was doing everything, and I was selling a couple cards and kind of gearing up for it. And then a private collector reached out and said, hey, I have that same card. I know you're probably watching that auction, but can we work out something where based on the result of that, I sell it to you at a lower rate minus fees? And I was just like, man, what a great, what a great thing to have happen. It was kind of lucky on my part, to be honest, but stuff like that where it's like, man, if I could plan around, if we know the auction, stuff like that, I love it.
Yeah, I thought this question was going to turn in the other direction.
Me too.
The question
I was like,
would be like these
auction houses smashing each other. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the previews, making all the other cards go too low. That's why they're going low.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah, nice. An endorsement of the auction preview.
More data, more. I thought he was going to go in the direction also of if you know that there's like this continuous, I don't want to use the word flood, but like a lot of auction houses and a lot of big cards keep coming out, they're coming. Wouldn't you want to like say no to a private deal knowing that like, hey, I can probably get that card at auction cheaper if I just have a little patience right now, knowing that the market's going to keep pushing supply out?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll just be patient for my card, depending on the rarity and population and stuff.
Yep, I think that's right. And then, hey, look, stuff does sometimes appear. The Luka Logoman NT is coming to market. That McCaffrey Prism Black, it did appear. It took years, but it came out. So, there is something to be said for patience. All right, Drake's PC has a question for each of you. Over the next 3 to 6 months, are you planning to add more width, meaning additional players, or depth, meaning more cards of the players you currently collect to your collection? So you want to add more players, or do you want to add more cards of the players you already have over the next 3 to 6 months?
Yes.
Both. Are you adding a new player, PC?
I had no plans of it. Christina may be dipping a toe into like some Dallas Stars, perhaps. Christian Wood. I have a small Christian Wood collection, actually, from when I submitted to PSA about 2 years ago. He only has one, I believe, NBA licensed rookie, which or there's actually some parallels and stuff, but it's in Don Russ. He has the rookies insert and then his base set rated rookie, and we have a few of those from 2 years ago. Had no idea he would become a Mav, but we have a few. So
I want to hear Christina's favorite Dallas Star player.
Who's your favorite Dallas Star player? She likes the goalie.
Jake Otten.
What's his name?
9. From Minnesota.
Jake Ottinger. Although it's a little bit weird because there's two goalies. There's another one named Wedgwood, who wedges his way into our desire to watch Ottinger.
So this might be a dumb question. Do you have season tickets to the Stars through the Mavs, or these are separate purchases?
No, we just buy one-offs right now. Christina wants to get the Dallas Stars season tickets.
Are they cheap? Are they like?
Oh yeah, they're both very affordable. You did? Oh, never mind. We have them now.
Are they good? The Stars?
They are good. They're like 5-1-1 right now. They're a good team. You know what I love about the hockey game? I love the horn.
Tell the trivia story
That symbolizes the goal. You know the horn?
Last week. Yeah, I said it last week. The horn is what I said. You were like, the goal is so amazing. And I was like, yeah, the fucking horn.
Yes, the horn. Well, I looked more into the horn.
Okay.
And the horn was introduced to hockey, to the NHL in 1972 or 73, when the owner of the Chicago Blackhawks took the horn off of his yacht and brought it into the stadium and blew it when they scored a goal. And now, like, we didn't go to the Stars game on Thursday night because the Mavs were on TV, but we could hear that horn from our apartment if we opened the window. And it brought a lot of joy.
And we timed it because we had the game on on silent, and we timed it, and we are exactly 1 minute behind.
1 minute delayed. 1 minute delayed.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Josh? Who are you adding to your collection, or what cards?
Oh, I'm just going depth big time. I'm ready to go, man. I'm rearing to go. This is prime time for me at least, to buy cards.
So you're going depth. I'm definitely going depth. Come on, man. What? We don't have to slander. We got hockey slander in the chat.
What? Why?
I would have been right there with you, a month ago. But the hockey aficionado, have now watched 2 games in person and a few more on TV.
Yeah.
So.
Lamine and I have had this debate.
Oh, you guys have already debated
Yeah,
this?
we've already debated if it's a sport.
If it's a sport.
He thinks that if it's on ice, it doesn't count as a sport.
Well, I've talked to. I have a couple of friends that play hockey, not professionally or anything, but they're very good and they've played in high school and stuff like that. They say that it's very taxing on the body. It's very, very difficult. And that's why you see this shift so often, because just 1 minute of skating, especially in the NHL where they're basically going 100% at all times, is just incredibly taxing.
Wow. The more you know. Rainbow. All right. Next question. Mike Pinkerton 50. How many side PCs are enough?
Yeah, I mean, you're asking people that have 3 side PCs.
Yes. I mean, and there's levels to the side PC game, you know, and then there's the other PC comprised of players that aren't necessarily meriting their own full PC designation, but they're still there.
Do you even collect Michael Jordan, bro?
I don't know, man. That's
Ever since
Michael Jordan. How about that?
Ever since you got burned with
that legacy? Yeah.
like,
I've been on strike from Michael Jordan cards.
like if you had the urge, if someone offered you that card privately right now, that's kind of an example I would use to say like, no, I'll wait till auction. It's going to come up like 4 times in the next 2 years.
So true. Okay. It's a little early in the show, but we're going to eBay.
Oh my God, Christina, get ready to jump in front of this camera.
Do not. All right. So if there is a Jordan card that's on my radar, and it's this one right here,
Oh yes, sir.
the 98 Star Quest Gold, number 200. I've been in a do-si-do with this card once before because do you remember when we went to Sheboygan and I got sunburned? I looked like a tomato or a shrimp.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
all remember.
I was hoping maybe not. Okay, well, this guy's got it for 60 grand. Or
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
OBO.
he is not in Sheboygan.
What is the Sheboygan?
Well, while we were in Sheboygan, I was negotiating back and forth with the owner of this card, and I knew that he had taken. I knew that he had sent a counteroffer on eBay that was low, and I sent him an offer that was a little bit above what I know he counteroffered somebody else, and he came back with a high ball, and so I was a little turned off, and I just backed away from the card. And lo and behold, it's still here. So that's a really nice Jordan Grail.
Wait it out.
That's a story of like, don't be greedy.
100.
What's that? Out of 100?
There's 100. Wait it out, bro.
Wait it out. Wait till one hits the block.
Wait till one, or just wait till you know it's the right time to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you do know. You just sort of know, as Will Ferrell in Eastbound and Down once said, in your plums.
That's a great show. Oh, by the way, pound for pound, season 1 of that show is the best season of any show ever because there's only 6 episodes and each one just packs a real punch.
Yeah, I need to give that show another go around. I mean, I watched it as it was coming out, so it's been a while.
I've never seen it.
Season 2 through whatever, man.
You've
Season
never
1.
found out? Wow. Okay.
Season 1 is incredible, and you can watch it in like a day. You know.
Yes, I mean, yeah, that's Danny McBride in his prime. All right, so is there a number of side PCs that's enough?
No.
No,
Fucking
no.
fucking
Hell
Shrek.
no.
Fucking Shrek.
There's no no, Mike. All right, Kevin Cormier. Oh, this is a little business tip for the behemoth known as eBay. Kevin Cormier says, would eBay work more efficiently if buyers had personal profiles? These volume sellers that cannot spend the time to research comps, they won't respond to dozens of messages, and they decline fair offers just because they're 20% of their ridiculous bin. So, bottom line, do we think it would be easier if the seller was able to see that they have a target buyer, a potential customer for life, right in front of them, and then they would treat that buyer more fairly, with more respect? They would reply to their messages. They would make fair deals. If they could actually see that there's a human, here's the profile, here's their name, here's what they look like, here's what they collect. Would that humanize the interaction and lead to more eBay transacting?
I think it's a great idea, but I think eBay is very, very strict / protective of deals happening off of eBay, and they're just doing anything and everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen. They don't want you two to know each other.
That's right. That's the problem, Kevin, is that eBay does not want to provide enough information so that the seller could be motivated to go find you offside of eBay and circumvent the eBay fees that eBay is entitled to for having connected you to in the first place. But certainly a smart idea, and one that has its roots in solid psychological theory.
Isn't that like the whole concept of like the rating though?
The buyer rating?
Yeah.
He's not saying that you're a good or a bad buyer. He's saying humanize the interaction a bit.
Yeah.
Show that there's a human being on the other side and that this person could really be a repeat customer.
But what if I don't identify as a human?
Well, we've dealt with that one before and we made it past, so.
Those people send me messages like that through eBay of like, you know, you've got a customer for life. I'm a great customer. And I get it, but like in the world of cards, like most of my deals are very one-off with an individual that's like, you're not going to be a repeat customer. I'm not selling candles or something, you know, it's like, I'm not, you know, Serenity by Jan over here selling you candles monthly.
Or how about mint toothpicks? I am a repeat customer of these mint toothpicks.
You try to send toothpicks to the moon, bro?
Yo, this is not a toothpick pump. All right. Just look, you know, there's not enough of these to go around. These are, where do we go to get these? Grapevine. The toothpick pump is on.
Better than the chariot pump.
I mean, I didn't sign up to get emails.
God, dude.
All right.
I've seen some shit, but
Okay. Ben X Crunner 1 says, sometimes I feel like the hobby teaches you more about psychology and sociology than anything else.
wow.
What have been some of your favorite observations of human behavior in the hobby over the past couple of years?
Man, that's such a good question. I don't have like a funny example off the top of my head though.
Yeah, it is a good question. It's a question that demands more seriousness than this show is.
I would
The
say,
mood
like,
of the show tonight is light, and that's a heavy question.
I would say let's go to the chat, but the chat is like meant for one-liners. That's too, you know, it's like a story of
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just like, the only thing I'm thinking of is watching people get so anxious about the market going down and they just like don't know what to do with themselves because they're so invested in it financially, but that's mean.
No, I think that,
No, that's good.
I think
I like that.
the hobby taught like me about like the like psychology of greed and jealousy.
Hmm.
Okay. I real quick want to acknowledge Gene from Marina Design, who pops in to say, go Phillies, because
Won?
they won.
1-0
1-0. Why does everybody hate Philadelphia sports fans so much?
because they booed Santa Claus. They'll never ever let that go. Did you listen to the bar?
Yeah, I think Gene's the only Philly fan that I like, to be honest.
Gene is a very likable Philly fan.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the Barkley Simmons podcast?
The first part of it, yep.
Did you hear the part where Barkley like was gonna demand a trade with a letter? Did you hear that part?
Maybe. I did hear parts about him reminiscing about his time in Philly.
He was just like a savage with like, he's like, our team sucked.
Yeah.
They traded away all of our best players. We sucked. I wanted out. It was like, damn, Barkley.
Yeah, well, you know, but the team also did him some good. He said the coach maybe, or Moses Malone or someone told him to lose 50 pounds fast.
Yes.
You ain't playing.
Yes. And then he's like, or he's like, the starter got hurt or something, and then they played someone else who was behind me on the depth chart or whatever, and it was because I hadn't lost the weight yet. It was so good. He's always a good interview, man. He's so entertaining.
Yeah, he is. I enjoy listening to. I don't love all this basketball takes.
No, of course. That's not why you watch, though.
No, God. Aren't the Lakers the team that him and Shaq have been dreaming of? You know, no 3-point shooting,
Right.
Okay, just speaking of Philadelphia Phillies fans, Ken Golden says Phillies.
Phillies 1-0.
Phillies 1-0. Okay, isn't the Lakers the team that Shaq and Barkley had been dreaming of? That no 3-point shooting, pass it into the paint and throw up some junk and see what happens.
Yeah, it's not. Raptor does not like the Lakers. Let's just say that.
No, yeah, fair. Okay, so anything else you want to say about things? Because it's such a nice question from Ben, and I have nothing for it just because the mood isn't right. I'm not ready to psychoanalyze.
Is it like strange or diabolical that we're having more fun tonight when the the market's down and people are down in the hobby, and we're just like having so much more fun right now?
There may be something. I don't know. There may be something to that.
That's the psychology answer that you're looking for, Ben. There it is, right there.
There you go. All right.
Watching people react to things going up, and who reacts to things going down, etc.
True. Okay, Cardi C with another big brain question.
Always big brain.
Yeah, oh yeah. He says Meta's value, what used to be Facebook, it has plunged by $700 billion.
Take on this ever.
Who could have seen this coming? Due to their pivot to the metaverse, many are claiming the quote-unquote metaverse play was the worst business decision ever made. Is that true? Are many claiming this? What do you think is the equivalent miss for the sports card industry? And so I, as I sometimes do, turned the question back on Chris, Cardi C, and I said, well, what do you think? And he said, I have two answers. First, Upper Deck running the printing presses in 1989 to cash in on the Griffey hype and usher in the junk wax era. And then second, 100,000 purchases of the Project 2020 Keith Shore, Ken Griffey Jr., which you and I may or may not have participated in.
Yeah. I have a funny thing to say, and then I'll give my answer.
All right.
I think there's one thing that we can point to in history for the demise of Meta, and that was a humble interview by Chris Hodge where he said the phrase, "Isn't the metaverse just fancy Zoom?" And ever since then, people just heard that. Not just people in the hobby, people across the world heard that, and they thought, "Oh my God, he's right." Short the hell out of that stock. That is just trash.
I read an article that came out today about how even employees at Facebook are resisting the headset and the Meta thing. And it said not only is the headset, maybe not a huge hit, but also the software doesn't work too well. And then in fact, they had a meeting and the software wasn't working and they had to pivot to Zoom to complete the meeting.
Have you used the headset before?
No, I haven't. And it's $1,500 for that headset, by the way.
You never tried it, like from a friend or something?
No.
Dude, it is. I mean, I went into it like I'll actually try to be unbiased. Take my hobby, sort of joke aside and like try this thing. I did not enjoy it. I was like, I would rather just play video games because it was a game or something where I was walking around and.
Well, also, I guess Facebook has been really pushing it as like, hey, you put your headset on and go to work. This is like, instead of buying a new computer, you buy this headset and you work. And when has that ever been? Nobody wants to buy something that makes them work more.
Yeah.
There just seems to be all sorts of sinking ship.
Do you remember when the theaters were like really pushing 3D movies and then like 3D TVs, and now nobody gives a fucking shit about 3D. So why would we want even more of that? Like, why would we want even more? Like, the video game world is exploding. Like, people love playing video games. Like, everybody plays games, right? It's this huge thing. But nobody is looking to, like, expand on their experience. They just like the way that it is now. They like being in the real world and playing the game on their TV. And so, I would think Metaverse would figure that out, but I don't know.
Well, look, it's also testament to the fact that one person can have one good idea that can be worth billions of dollars, but subsequently they can have terrible ideas that can cost billions of dollars.
Yeah, that's my other favorite take. Zuckerberg's a moron. What a terrible. It's like, isn't Facebook like, the largest social media platform by like 3x still? Like,
Yeah,
I feel like he's still pretty smart.
that idea, so it's not like it was his.
Here we go. The Winklevi twins have been denied their rightful.
She's falling into the trap of the Hollywood scripts. No, he built it.
Yeah. So look, you win some, you lose some, but Mark, you gotta know when you've lost. You gotta know when to bench the starters and save their energy for the next game.
Well, I mean, we should have known. The second we saw someone pay $2 million for a virtual yacht, that should have been the clear sign of like, all right, it's over, people. Metaverse is not real. Get out now.
I was on the verge of saying humanity was teetering up when that happened.
You were like boarding up your windows and shit.
Well, I mean, remember when the Pet Rock NFT was?
What happened to that? The Pet Rock.
It's probably still worth a ton. What do we know?
Ether Rock. The ETH Rock.
The ETH Rock. The ETH Rock. Okay. I don't really have a good answer. I thought Cardi C's answer was great. That, the printing presses running on the Griffey hype, and then the Keith Shore. And by the way, how interesting that 30 years separated those two projects, but they both featured the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card, essentially. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good job, Ken.
Ken Griffey is the problem.
Ken Griffey might be the problem, yeah. All right. Nick's basketball PC wants us to rank, in order of our preference, the following 6 patterns or finishes. Cards. There's 6, all right? X-Fractor, Atomic Refractor, Vinyl, Cracked Ice, Galactic, and Finite. I'll say them once more.
Oh my God.
X-Fractor, Atomic Refractor, Vinyl, Cracked Ice, Galactic, and Finite.
I'm going to go bottom up.
Okay. Oh, just bottom. Oh, wow. So you're just going Finite, Galactic, Cracked Ice, Vinyl.
No. I'm going to, no, not the order you read. I'm going to go bottom up.
You're going to go from 6 to 1. Okay.
Yeah, Atomic, bottom, X-Fractor, Galactic. Vinyl, Finite, what's the other one?
Vinyl, Cracked Ice, and Finite.
Cracked Ice. And then, oh, you're going to be so mad at me. Finite, Cracked Ice, Vinyl.
No, I mentally prepared for that. I knew that was coming.
Sorry. I like Finite, but I like Cracked Ice better.
I know. Dude, you've been loyal to the Cracked Ice parallels since the day I met you. Okay. I'm going to go, in no surprise to anyone, Finite, Vinyl, Cracked Ice, Galactic, Atomic, and then X.
We've got basically the same order.
It's pretty
simple.
Pretty close. Okay. All right. Fun question there, Nick. Ben Crunner is back with us. Another question. Second question. What are some of the best resources to find out if incredibly rare cards have ever surfaced or if they've ever been pulled? I'm talking one-of-one level rarity from 90s products like Flair Masterpieces or Gem Masters. There's still so much cheap wax of these products out there, but I rarely see the Gem Masters or the Masterpieces when I look on Instagram or when I look on Blowout. Do you think a lot of it is still in wax? Is it lost or thrown away? Or is it in collections that don't use social media?
Well, humble response. Card Ladder is a great place. Check sales history. If it's sold, that means it's been pulled.
How many sales are in sales history now?
Like 45 million or something crazy.
It has to be more than that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I just used the verbiage on the site to say 50 million plus because I got tired of keeping up with it.
Yeah, fair. Okay, a lot of sales in there to look at to see if a card has ever sold. Dude, it's tough to find those cards, but, you can sometimes just start digging by just asking people and, pressing people to, hey, have you ever heard or seen of this card? And maybe it piques their interest. So you can...
Top reports. That's another one. Sorry.
Top reports is a great one. Like I was talking to Black Griffin Cards about whether, because he messaged me and said, I'm so glad you didn't buy the DeMar DeRozan Superfractor because like he doesn't like that set, even though Blake Griffin has a rookie Superfractor. And I said, have you ever seen the Blake? And he said, no, but I do know it's been graded.
There you go.
So pop reports are a really good way to keep up on that. I don't know, man, once you get it in your mind to track down a specific card, you know, usually you'll find a few rabbit holes to go down that produce something interesting. Well, what do you think about this idea, though? Do you think, like, because we haven't seen maybe some of these Flair Masterpieces or Gem Masters, does that mean that they're still waiting in boxes to be pulled?
That one is a weird one. I agree. I don't see any of those Gem Masters either. That's like a strange mystery to me. It's almost like some of those never were printed or something. I'm not trying to start hobby drama rumor, but I just haven't seen so few of those that I don't have any other explanation.
They forgot to put them in. maybe there's a hot box out there where every pack, every card, and it's just 150 Gem Masters in this crazy hot box that never got opened. What about that?
I can only think of like 3. I've seen the Barkley. You've seen the Barkley one. I just haven't. I can't even think of any other high-end guys. I know, or Spinatron owns the Kobe, so that's 2.
I saw, courtesy of the great Dr. Kadick, not to be confused with a dentist, but instead a radiologist.
He's a real doctor.
Real doctor pointed out that a Kenny Lofton Gem Masters 1 of 1s was in a Facebook marketplace. So the Kenny Lofton has been accounted for all those listeners out there who were concerned.
Check that box. I've seen like a couple other low-end ones here and there, but if the Penny Hardaway, I have no idea where that is.
Which is weird. You would have think somebody would have seen or heard of it over the last.
I would do weird things to get that one.
Well, the question's been brought up by Jordan several times in the chats. If you would maybe sell cheeks for it, so you can just think about that. All right, Drake's PC says, we've all been underbidder on a card we've wanted before, but then we quickly pivoted to buy something else to console us.
We did this one recently.
Dude, this is a very popular topic.
It is.
Consolation purchase. So thinking of a specific example, what card did you get as a consolation, and did it fill the void for you?
I don't think it ever fills the void, but it certainly helps. It makes me feel a lot better. It's like it sounds like something like a drug addict would talk about. Like, oh, I missed my shipment of heroin, but I got that fill or whatever. It wasn't quite the same.
Yeah.
I didn't buy cocaine, so I just bought some crack.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's like it's not my baby, but it'll have to get me over.
I counsel against the consolation purchase, because how does it ever really work out? Does it ever fill the void?
Well, this is going back to what I said earlier in the show to give you some simple advice, which is like, just wait it out right now. If you lose at the auction, I feel like that card might come up again. Just wait it out and be patient right now.
Yep. As Kevin says, on tilt. Yes, that's a strong tilt play. When you just go look at the eBay bins and
you're frantically like, God, I got to spend this money right now.
and I also, this also relates to the megabid. Just megabid, you never have to worry about consolation cards. You have something else to worry about, which is paying way too much money.
I megabid this week on a card $150 over what it ended at.
Well, what did it end at?
It ended at $23.
Okay, so Christina's megabid multiplier is about 7 to 8x.
Right, because it's like, I'm glad you asked the follow-up what it ended at, because I wanted to know the percentage, the multiplier. I don't want to know the volume.
Christina's feels comfortable at a 7.5x.
I bought that like Todd Gurley 2018 Prism Gold, and it was like, I think I bid like 400 and whatever. It ended at like $40.
Are you still tracking Mikal Bridges cards at all?
I sold a bunch of them.
Well, he has. I couldn't believe this card hit one of my generic.
Yeah, that's probably mine.
Is it the PSA 10?
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's with MC. Okay,
that's mine.
it's at 3,100 already.
Yeah,
Those Mikal prices, man. I didn't know.
I got really excited on a couple LeBrons and bought a bunch, and I was like, oof, I need to sell some of these details.
Hey, it's fun to see this card come to market. I'm really impressed / surprised that it's already this high. It's cool, man. There's been a nice little offering on eBay lately. I won something raw on eBay this week. It's a really nice card, and I'm bidding on something tomorrow. I'm not going to show it.
Mega bid. You looked at like you said that.
Yeah, mega bid incoming.
Dude, mega bid is the most popular topic we've hit in the last like 2 months. I'm not gonna be that douchebag, but I haven't like most of my the most popular DM I've gotten is like the mega bid joke.
Dude, people relate to the mega bid. And Pac Nicholson graciously took the week off. Although he did make a meme.
That was funny meme.
He made a nice meme.
The dart. Show the meme.
Let me see if I can get this meme pulled up here. He made a nice meme that stood in place of the fact that he didn't have a question. Okay, here it is. All right. For those listening at home, the meme is a guy up top covering his eyes, throwing a dart blindly at a dartboard, and it says, "Me picking my college major," which I'm sure many of us can relate to. And then down below, he's got a creepy guy with a hood on, sitting in a dark room with 6 computer screens pulled up, 7 if you include his tablet screen. Card Ladder sales history, Instagram, Basketball Reference, couple of eBay links, and he says, "This is me thinking of my question for the crossover." So putting much more effort into crafting his crossover question. Not to over-explain the meme, but for the people who are listening on audio, so you guys get it too.
How did you choose your major?
I put the blindfold on, put the names of the majors on. No, I just chose the major that had the classes that I liked.
He just chose a major that like you had to apply for. Like that was his. Like he literally had to apply for his major.
And
pretentious.
Yes, a lot of people.
And it was known as like the pre-law major because I knew that I was not going to be ready for adulthood, even as a late student, a non-traditional student. I was not going to be ready for adulthood after graduating undergrad. So I went for a major that would set me up nicely for another 3 years of school. How did you choose yours?
Well, I would say I Google searched it, but I probably Yahoo searched it. You know, that's how old we are at this point. I Yahoo searched like, best like bang for your buck in terms of salary relative to like how much work it is and to be in school. Because I didn't want to be in school for 8 years and be a doctor or whatever. So I found computer science was like, oh, you only have to do 4 years, and it's pretty lucrative.
Were you into computer science in high school at all? Or?
I know a lot of people that like did computer science courses in high school. We didn't have anything like that at my high school. So my first exposure was my first day at college, and I was like, let's learn about this computer stuff, dude.
Holy crap, that's crazy. Damn. That's like Hakeem Olajuwon not picking up basketball until like 17.
Man, I wish I was as good as Hakeem is at his job.
Wow. Okay. So Cardboard Insights back with another one for us. Ever have a saved search that brings up results of other random cards? And if so, what's the weirdest results that you've seen pop up? I do have this happen to me. I don't know why this search does it, but 2018 Prism Gold LeBron brings up all types of junk. That search is terrible. I don't even click it anymore because it brings up just the most random 2018 junk cards. What about you? Do you have this result happen to you?
Yeah, because I have like a bunch of LeBron ones, and it'll bring up other players, and then they put LeBron as the player just to like get more views, which is annoying as shit. But it usually brings up some pretty sweet like one-on-one rookies, and I feel like I see a lot of Tracy McGrady cards. That's random, and South's gonna get all excited. But like people that make Tracy McGrady listings love putting LeBron as the player on the eBay listing.
How excited would South be
if the Clippers won a game?
If there was a triple auto
McGrady,
game-used relic card,
Paul George,
Cam Newton going cross-sport, and who's the third? Paul
George.
All right.
Why?
Hey, South Mohammed says you need to unblock him, man. All right. Yeah.
This says, I got a Brady Rogers Manning flawless, and it's daily a bunch of friggin' garbage football.
Yeah, we don't like that. We don't, as a user of platforms that have searches, we don't love just the totally, well, how about this? Like, or at least I don't like that. Just if I'm not finding what I'm looking for. Oh, and like, here's one way to make sure that doesn't happen. If you put a minus, if you remove a term from your search, so if it was like 2018 person called LeBron minus black, then it only returns the exact results.
I learned the subtraction. I mean, obviously, I know a lot about it because of Card Ladder, but I use that to its fullest with the Todd Gurley one because I basically have a Todd Gurley all cards. Like, it's just literally like Todd Gurley. I want to see everything, except for I minus like 20 things. It's like, okay, I've seen this card like 1,000 times. No more score and like, lower name brands.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, Vinny Slabarino.
He loves the show.
Go Vinny!
Always
Let's go.
Show.
Always enjoy the show.
Let's go, Vinny. We always enjoy your questions. What percentage of eBay listings that say that the card is perfectly centered are actually perfectly centered?
From Probstein or from?
Is it 0%? Why do you think people do this? My guess is that they are using my guess is that they are using the power of suggestion to try and fool people. Vinny.
You want to be all scientific here and say that like it's impossible for any of them to be perfectly centered because there's like nanomillimeters. Yeah.
Be very tough. Reminds me of my one of my favorite movies, Sphere. There's a little story in that movie, and they say, there was this artist, and in the medieval times, I think, and they said, "Prove to us that you're a great artist." And the artist took a utensil that he wrote with. I don't know what they had back then, and he drew a perfect circle, and that was the evidence that he was a great artist because freehand he was able to draw a perfect circle. Same goes for perfect centering on a card. It's beyond impressive. It's almost a unicorn-esque feature of a card if it was perfectly centered.
Undergraded. That's my favorite caption of cards.
Undergraded, flawless.
PSA 10 question mark?
PSA 10 or PSA 10, but then pristine.
I've seen ones where they put like the estimated value in the caption of like $5,000+ card, and then it sells for like 1,000.
It's always like 20% of that estimate.
Yeah.
That hasn't stopped them though. They just keep on putting the estimates on there.
One of these days.
How refreshing would it be to see an estimate that's like $20 and then it goes
right.
to $100? How about that?
I mean, that might actually be a good strategy.
How about expectations are the thief of joy? How about
the reason that the 99-cent auctions do so well is people go, "Oh my god, I'm going to win this card for so cheap," and they watch it and they get excited about and they pull them in. Exactly right. If you do that with the caption of like, "This is a $20 card, bro. Don't even bother. This thing's going to sell so cheap. You don't even fucking want it."
Yeah, we'd be all over
it.
Like,
Put the Jordan Gold Darquest estimated value $100. People, let's go.
like, oh man, this guy doesn't know what he has. Let me go.
Exactly.
Let me make a move. All right, look, this Ben X Crunner wanted some psychology. There you go. All right, Cardboard Insights.
Oh, MVP.
MVP. Okay. When collecting parallels of a card, the completionist in me is in a battle with the curator in me. The curator side feels accomplished when I acquire certain top tier cards that I wanted, but the completionist wants to complete the chase of all the parallels because this helps me to narrate the depth and richness of the hobby. These two things aren't always opposed, but sometimes funding a completionist project can take away from the ability to be a curator, and vice versa. So in your hobby days, have you felt that tension as well?
Christina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've been working on a set for a while. I don't do sets ever. I've been working on this Luck of the Lottery set.
No, the only time you do sets is when you're trying to like one up my set. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason as any to make a set. So, but it's just not. I don't love completionism. Is what I've learned. I really don't struggle with that. Don't really have too well. But you know when I do struggle with completionism is when like I get it stuck in my head that I'd like all the Prism Blacks of McCaffrey, and then that lines up nicely with the curator thing. So I don't know. What do you say to this, Josh?
I don't resonate with these topics as much as the question asker. Just to be fully honest, I'm not a completionist either.
Okay, but so I would push back on both of you with the whole completionist thing because I mean I'm looking at Josh's page right now and I'm seeing all these gold girlies. And like that to me is a completionist like set building of you collecting and becoming the girly super collector, and therefore like in order to be the super collector you need to complete all of his like big print runs, like his big card prints.
Facts.
So like there is a curation of completionism that like I actually struggled with this question when I read it first earlier today because I was like, I don't understand the question. You're using different words to explain the same thing.
Well, there you go. All right. I bet there are people in the audience for whom that question does, speak to them more than, or in a different way than it does. Okay. Card Gems 23 would like to know, are we in the junk parallel era? Okay, so just to keep track, we've had the junk wax era, the junk slab era, now the junk parallel era. I feel like parallels would be more meaningful if there were fewer of them. And by the way, Card Gems 23 made that great observation. Yeah.
No, go ahead and finish that. Show that meme real quick. That was funny.
Well, is that meme still on your...
On my story, yes.
My gosh, I need to go back one more. No, it's gone.
I don't even remember the guy's name in that show.
Barry and... What's that guy's name?
Russian guy with no hair.
Barry TV show. Let me just see if I can... And NoHo Hank.
NoHo Hank. Oh, dude, what a great character. He's like,
Okay.
He's the best character of that show.
Let me see if I can just get a picture of the... Oh, here we go. I found the picture that he used. Great. Great.
That wasn't the picture. It was
Oh.
the other hat.
No. Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
This one. Okay.
There it is.
And look, I gotta see if I can find a picture of this where they're not wearing hats. Where are the two? Here.
It's funny because he's got like the mean mug face, and it's like nothing pleases him. That's kind of what he was saying about me, and yours is like the wide-eyed. It was just such a great. That last picture was better.
Yeah. I remember that this was a good development when this guy came into. Okay, all right. Yeah, so these are who Hollywood would cast if when I should say
They immortalize when Adam Sandler and co. immortalize the crossover.
I think first we have to win like some sort of hobby influencer award before we can get to Hollywood, right?
Oh man, that's gonna do us in if we need one of those. All right. Well, what about the question itself? Are we in a junk parallel era?
I think we've been in one for a while. But wouldn't you even say though that the more parallels there are, like the more special it makes those rare, super awesome ones? You could argue.
Something to that. What about this? What if we're just in the junk era of junk eras?
The junk era of the question about junk eras.
Yeah, what if that's the real era? Is that in the hobby, because of how large it is, if we're being honest, there's just a proliferation of lots of things. There's lots of slabs, there's lots of wax, there's lots of parallels. Maybe it's just a junk era of junk. Somebody says junk content.
Obviously he means not. He doesn't mean this show, obviously.
Or, look, we know sometimes the content can be a little junky. Maybe that's the real meta move here. Is that, we wouldn't be true to the era if we weren't putting out junk every once in a while.
I think what you meant to say was the true fancy Zoom era.
Dude, maybe we're in the junk era of junk. What about that? What about if it's not junk at all? Now that's a real brain teaser. Okay? We're in the era of junk eras, but it's not junk. Thanks for that thought-provoking topic, Card Gems. Mostly 90s basketball cards says, you know that feeling you get when you're sitting around thinking of crossover questions and you think of such a good question that you think it could end Pac Nicholson's episode title streak? What is that feeling called?
What was that thing you said earlier in the show about the cards on the streets now or something?
Mm-hmm, the card now belongs to the streets. Yep.
And then you said something funny after you were like, as the saying goes, as if that's a common hobby phrase that gets uttered often.
Well, I don't know. Pac Nicholson did take the week off, so he did, let other people shine. Yeah, it was a blowout, and he sat out the fourth quarter. So it is up for grabs. I don't know. I've never had the privilege of sitting around coming up with a question, and then the light bulb goes off, and I say, this is going to lead to the topic of the show. Only Pac Nicholson really knows that feeling. Okay. Iowa Dave says, let's talk about awesome NBA players who are the second best on their team, like Scott Pippen or Klay Thompson. Typically, they don't reach the hobby heights of their teammates, but if of their other best teammates like MJ and Curry, if the Lakers continue to suck and land the number one pick, which belongs to New Orleans, do you think the hobby can handle having Zion and Wembanyama on the same team? And if the hobby is divided, will they go with Zion, who is the most hyped ultramodern player, or Wembanyama, the new guy?
Man, that would be really tough, wouldn't it, to have those two guys on the same team? I feel like that would hurt both of their hobby, whatever, love just a little bit. It's just like too much for one team.
Yeah, fair. We're dealing with a lot of players who are coming back from injuries, Zion being one of them. But here's the distribution of points among the starters on the Pelicans. Ingram, 22 points a game. Zion, 22 points a game. McCollum, 20 points a game. Valanciunas, 18 points a game. Nobody's like head and shoulders above anybody else on that team.
True.
including Zion right now. So maybe we're already in a sort of, or why not Ingram? Why not just switch this right now to be, what about Zion versus Ingram? Can the hobby handle that?
Yeah, I mean, the Wembanyama thing is going to be big, though, right? Isn't it?
People are hoping it will. I saw an Instagram reel today of him, like, on all fours demonstrating flexibility and crawling.
Woo-wee.
And the reel was like, NBA scouts watch Victor Wembanyama demonstrate his flexibility by crawling before games. I was like, this is the level of content that we're at, where we're showing this poor kid, like, crawling like a panther or something. Like, I don't know.
Well, like, is this part of his normal routine, or did, like, someone ask him to, like, crawl on the floor to, like, display his flexibility?
I don't know, but Victor, if you're out there, you don't have to do any of this, man. You're already locked in. Don't let these NBA GMs, like, who was the Pelicans GM who was playing the piano for Zion? We need to cut this.
Wait, what?
That was a report that came out over last summer, was that somebody on the Pelicans executive staff invited Zion into his hotel room, or maybe he went to Zion's hotel room and played the piano for him.
That sounds creepy.
That's super weird. I'd be like, I demand a trade right now. Stop that.
Well, when they asked Zion about it in the press conference, he completely denied it just because he knew that that's the only way to salvage it. But
Did you see speaking of, like, creepy and weird, did you hear about the Russell Wilson, like, going up and down the airplane? Did you hear about this?
That's not even the creepiest or weirdest Russell Wilson thing, but yeah, spending 4 hours on the flight to London doing stretches, or it's not yet.
I just, like, I know we started the whole Let's Ride thing last week, but this man is just, like, just such a weird guy.
Bro, that's not even the weirdest news that came out about Russell Wilson this week.
Well, the weirdest news.
The weirdest was that Wilson, in order to economize his time, has been training his body to take a shit once a week so that he doesn't spend extra time on the toilet.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm not making this up. A real human being with credentials shared this with me, and I verified.
That's going to be awkward because his home has 12 bathrooms. How's that going to work?
Yeah, I mean, that's the next problem for him to tackle.
How is that good for you to...
If his home has 12 bathrooms, I mean, he can basically shit in a new bathroom for an entire year.
Yeah, that's good math. That's good stuff.
My response to this news was, so you're telling me he's full of shit.
And there was some extra layer to the theory that, like, holding in your shit creates toxins that actually are good for your body. I mean, there was...
No, come on, dude.
There was levels to this, man. I'm telling you, there was levels to this.
Man, and people gave...
Alex knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, Alex
People
knows.
gave Aaron Rodgers such shit, like, for his homeopathic bullshit, and, like, then we have this guy, and no, like, this isn't being talked about on SportsCenter every night.
Well, yeah.
This dude is the quintessential goob. Just goob central. Russell Wilson just oozes the goobs.
House of Wax says he's going to get sacked in the game and shit all over the field.
Dude, what a weirdo. Like, oh man, they're so bad this year.
He's been in decline ever since he went on Bill Simmons' podcast. So I don't know what to make of that. All right, how did we even get on that topic anyway? All right.
We've been talking a lot of shit lately.
Yeah, I mean, if the Broncos ever don't want him, he would have a good fit with the Cleveland Browns. I think it's fair.
Let's go. Let's ride. Let's ride.
Okay, all right.
Let's hold.
Let's clench.
The hobby could learn a thing or two about holding from Russell Wilson.
You know what prairie dogging it means?
Oh yeah, he's not prairie dogging. He's not letting it get too far.
He's just not. He's not going to tempt himself like that. You know. He doesn't want to tempt fate with his prairie dogs.
Wow. Okay. All right.
That's right.
Mostly 90s basketball card says, we all love eBay sniping, but what do you do for extended bidding? So we have extended bidding, and it's becoming more common to bid on platforms outside of eBay. Do you see any downside to entering your max bid early on?
I've been playing around with that theory, and that worked for me last week. I'll be honest. I was going on a run, so I wasn't going to have access to my phone. So I put in not a mega bid. I put in my bid that's like, I hope I win at this. If I don't, I'm not going to be too mad. And it was before extended even started, but it was like a couple rungs above where it was at, like someone would have to kind of send it through extended 2 or 3 times. And I won at like just 1 over what I had put the first bid in. I think it might actually kind of work. I mean, what do you think about that?
I see the merit to it, especially when it's taking place on a non-eBay platform. There seems to be less of a risk of being like shielded up to your max, which is what I worry about on eBay, which is why sniping is so popular. And when you're in extended bidding, like you can't like snipe, right? That's the whole point of this question is like an extended bidding, you put in your bid and then you wait and see if they're going to come back and up it again. So you might there's something to be said about, hey, let's just cut to the chase and let the other side know, hey, look, my max is well above where the item currently is. Do you want to keep using the extended bidding increments to keep bumping it up and see how far you can go? That might wear them out. I guess the only other thing to say is that sometimes there's some strategy in like trying to wear out the other side by just, hey, I'll go until 4 a.m, just bidding up
last second
at a time.
Bidding last second.
Yeah, war by attrition.
That's a pretty smart move, especially when like Golden and PWCC both start extended at like 10 p.m. Eastern, 11 Eastern around,
Yep.
I think it's 10 p.m. Eastern. And if the extended goes, 3, that when I won the LeBron Exquisite, it was like midnight when I won that card.
There you go. Damn, I remember that. You remember Christina and I came to your house shortly after, and you had your PC file, and you hit it. Yeah.
Forgot about that. I used to be good at surprising you with that, but now I just like tell you the second I get it.
Yeah. I mean, what a card to hold the surprise in for. Okay.
I think I put it like third to last. It wasn't even. It was like totally randomly inserted.
Yep. It was in one of those bags. Card Case Pros. Okay.
I've always been a real, showman. I'm all about the flair.
All right. Publius 13 says, what is something that that very few understand? Hashtag few understand this.
All right, I thought about this all day.
Nice. All right, let's go.
Because that question was like really good, I thought, and I wanted to give it a lot of thought. The secret to having a great PC isn't about like flipping, investing. It's about like being good about allocating a portion of your income and like focusing on making money in the real world and then allocating a portion of that to your side, your hobby. I just feel like that's something that's been lost recently, and I feel like I understand that, and it seems so obvious, but I feel like it's kind of been lost in the last couple of years.
Oh, I love that. So I'm gonna sum that one up like this with 2 hashtags. Hashtag don't quit your day job. Hashtag few understand this. I like that. That's a good one that few do understand. Yeah, exactly. Don't do cards full time. That's great advice, and I agree. Few understand that. Few want to understand that. Okay, here's mine.
Oh, here we go.
Basketball is far and away the best sport, and few understand that.
Let's fucking go. Okay, because of the whole, like, football was here, and you gave up quick, so go.
Yes. Okay, well, look, first of all, all right, I could go on for a long time, and I'll try and keep this so short, but just know that I could have a slide deck 100 slides deep on this topic.
No, I bet you could.
I could. So first of all, basketball scores are so the average margin of victory in basketball is about 10 points. and teams score about 110 points. So there's only about a 10% difference between the winning score and the losing score. In other sports, there are much bigger average spans of victory. Hockey scores you see 4-1 all the time. Football 31-17. You see bigger gaps. So basketball games are closer and much more contentious all the way down the wire. It's unusual to see, a blowout basketball game, although they do happen. Number 2, next to boxing and combat sports, basketball has the most pound for pound action. You get it's nonstop action that's uninterrupted. Only second to football, to boxing and to combat sports. Third, basketball is a sport that you can go play by yourself. What are you going to do for football? You're going to throw a football back and forth to yourself? But basketball or baseball, you're just going to throw the ball up and hit it. But with basketball, you can dribble the ball. You can go to a hoop. You can play basketball by yourself for a long time, which means anybody can do it anytime they want. You don't need to coordinate. You don't need other people to do it, which is very appealing. And then, above all, it's such a beautiful sport to witness being played. It translates. It's already been shown that it can win on every continent. So look, that's something that few understand, is that basketball is the best sport.
Can I give you a round of applause for not bringing up the fact that it's an international game? I hate that. Let the game, like you said, the way you described it was better. Let the game kind of stand on its own. We don't need these marketing ploys to try to sucker people into it.
Well, the corollary to that take is the NBA is a disaster in terms of marketing the sport. We've already been over that topic. We don't need to rehash.
I agree with you, but it's so bad. Even still, I feel like I connect the most with the individual athletes of basketball better than any other sport.
That's true as well.
I just feel this stronger drive to PC basketball players for that reason. I'm more drawn to them.
Absolutely. All right.
Do you know this? A lot of people know this.
I'm telling you, by the way, few understand this, so don't be surprised if literally few understand it. But
would you rather watch? So my only counter is Red Zone is the best thing of all time.
Basketball has no answer to it. Basketball cannot do a red zone. They're trying.
Red Zone,
not good.
Red Zone is fucking incredible.
Yeah, Red Zone is a very special experience for the Sunday sports viewer. And the fact that it's on Sunday and just a lot of stuff lines up really nice.
It's just because, Red Zone's better because there's only one game a week in football, and it's just compacted into this one little window. You dedicate a day to it. You get the pizza and the wings, and you get your friends, and it's just this is good stuff.
It is. There is no arguments against Red Zone. Red Zone is, and there's no argument against fantasy. Fantasy football is just the perfect amount of it.
The days, aren't I coming out on Sunday?
You are coming out on a Monday. Or no, but he is coming in on a Sunday, I guess, then. If the game is a Monday, I think you're coming in on Sunday.
Yeah, we have him for the 4th.
They're going to be traveling during Red Zone. The reason I asked is, we need to do a Red Zone day. Red Zone day at my house.
Yeah, I know. Look, Red Zone is hard to mess up. Let's just put it that way.
You throw it on, you have some food, and that's it.
Yeah, Scott Hansen's just going to guide you all the way home.
Oh my god, dude! My favorite thing is when the game is starting to go to commercial or slowly creeping towards there's going to be a timeout. He's like, no, no, and he quickly goes to the next game and you're the man, Scott. I don't even want a fucking second of a goddamn extra point or fucking commercial. No.
Yeah, and if heavens forbid. We have to watch a replay on a channel. He's the first one to apologize. He's
when Fox comes in and Fox does this other game, he's like, no, get out of here, fuck this.
That's right. That's exactly right. He's chaperoning our Sunday, just guiding us and then, at the end, just to put a nice bow on it, they just re-show every touchdown from the day. And that sort of lets you know, hey, the day's over, and you're like, I don't really want it to be over, but you know what, let me just sit down, watch all these touchdowns, and then we'll sign off.
I feel like Red Zone came about because people at a bar, friends were like, what would be awesome if we could just cut all the shit and we could just watch football all day and not have to have commercials and no fucking timeouts, no extra points. We just get football. And someone was like, we should make a show about that and charge people for it. And they did it. And it's fucking amazing.
It's almost creepy or eerie how well it works.
Exactly.
It works it's almost as if you would say they designed football and Sunday schedules for Red Zone, even though we know it didn't happen that way.
It's just like, and many things in my life, I'm like, God, I wish they would do this way, or I wish this would just be better. So many things. Red Zone is the one thing where I'm like, I don't want them to change anything. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well,
that's my only counter. Everything else, I agree. Basketball as a sport is better.
Look, if you understand this, but we get it. All right.
What we're saying together is that have a day job and buy basketball cards.
Look, there could be worse advice than those two things.
Yeah, like buy Metaverse yachts or whatever.
Okay, all right. Hockey cards up.
Oh, this guy's good. He's the one that taught me about hockey.
Nice. Well, he says, do you think the hobby will be in a better or worse place a year from now? And I don't know, what do you I do remember I set this to a poll. I don't make predictions. I don't like to think my brain short circuits if I have to start making a really simple prediction like that. And then because what does it mean for the hobby to be in a better or a worse place? I'll tell you this. I've had my favorite month in the hobby has been probably the last 30 days. So between getting a great card that I had been looking for years, which I think is a big part of it, and then the NBA returning and having some interesting NFL activity, and all my hobby chakras are aligned. So for me, it's
hobby chakras.
My hobby chakras. So it's hard to think about the hobby being better than I can't imagine my hobbies. I've had a great hobby month. Like that's just the only way I can put it. It's been the best month of my hobby life. I can't really imagine it getting much better, to be honest.
Facts. Yeah, the CL50 might be down a year from now. If that's one barometer, the other is how much fun we're having. That'll be up.
Yeah, dude. There's something to. So, I had been worried that PCing 2 active players was going to be too much. No, it's just right. It's just. I basically average out to one NBA game that I have real stakes in every night, and I like that a lot. It works for me. 3, I don't think I could do 3.
But you have 3? Am I crazy?
Well, 2 are on the same team. Well, if we really want to get into it, we got Frank Ntilikina, Maxi Kleber, and Luka all on the same team.
And Christian Wood.
Well, Christian Wood, the Christian Wood PC team.
And Jokic and McCaffrey?
And then Jokic is on a different team, obviously. And then McCaffrey is NFL, but they just, that's one Sunday a week. So, I can handle that. I can handle football because it's just one game a week.
Yeah.
I created a big calendar for us this year of the different games that we have to watch or go to. And I had to put in all the Stars games. And there are weeks where we don't have a day off. Months.
That's where you really want to be, where you just have at least something
to do every day.
But not too much. All right. Okay, Cardboard Dojo would like to know. I'm not making this question up, by the way. I'm reading it exactly as written. When will Kobe cards go up in value again? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do Cardboard Dojo like that.
Man.
Tomorrow? Do you think it'll come tomorrow, maybe?
Whenever Tom Brady cards go back up.
Okay. Interesting. Look, I mean, on the one hand, if we could confidently predict that, if anybody could confidently predict that, A, they're not going to tell anybody, and B, they're going to use that information. One would think. You ever watch that show Early Edition? You remember that show? Oh, okay.
Nope.
This guy got the newspaper a day early, but he used the information. He used like financial information to make enough money to live, and then otherwise he would go around trying to stop like tragedies from happening.
Yeah, that's good. He's like, that's good.
So same here. If we got the card ladder indexes, 6 months early or something, but we don't. I almost would say that question leads down a problematic road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've got on that one. But you know what? But I hope that Kobe cards do great. That's what I hope.
When all the Kobe collectors stop selling their cards at auction every month.
Yeah, that'll be helpful to the Kobe market. Okay. B-Cart 99 says, rank Todd Gurley's top 5 cards.
Top 5 that exist or top 5 that I own?
Yeah, they didn't clarify. It's a good question.
I'll say top 5 that exist. Topps Chrome Superfractor base, which I don't own. Sad face. Rookie.
Do you know where it is?
It's in the pop report. I do not know where it is. Finest Superfractor rookie. I do not own. National Treasures Shield 1 of 1. I do not own. Jesus Christ. I don't own any of these fucking cards.
Depressing you.
This is sad. Then Contenders 1 of 1, which I do own. Suck it.
There we go.
And then 5, I don't know.
Did you said NT Shield?
Yeah. That's graded as well. It exists.
It's a good top 4. Top 5 is like a dealer's choice. Somebody wants to advocate for their Spectra or something. I don't know.
2018 Finite, which I own.
There we go. All right. Then PN Holt 80 had a question for me. Why did you shift from rare inserts to rare parallels? Because I got all the rare inserts with a few exceptions, and the rare parallels were just much more elusive and harder to get. And it was just a new challenge, and I liked them more. I've always liked parallels more than inserts. I always have.
Aesthetically or?
Aesthetically, conceptually, I love the base sets.
Serial numbered?
Serial numbered is a big factor for 90s stuff too. All those reasons. But that's not to say anything bad about inserts. 90s inserts are really awesome cards. You prefer parallels to inserts of 90s as well. Yeah. Why do you prefer them?
Because I like the concept of something relative to the base, which anyone can acquire, but only few can acquire the parallel, and it has a distinguishing factor that makes it look cooler.
Yeah, well said. All right, Chaz Pennysleeve says that the name is. You ever like a word just makes you laugh sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Chaz Pennysleeve. Is collecting PSA 8.5s a thing?
That'd be tough to cut, man.
Dude, I set this to a poll and it was a 50-50.
50-50?
Yes and no. Dude, who's saying no to this? Why would you say like I get that like the answer is no, but like why are you voting no on a poll? Just give this guy, if this guy wants it to be a thing, like just fine, make it a thing. I don't know.
I've been told by many an influencer that you should buy the card and not the grade. So I'm just going off of that.
Nice. Nice. If you understand this.
That's the caption.
Yeah, that's definitely that's a good cap. Look at that. So Publius Comes out of nowhere to name
It's either that or send the card to the streets.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have a decision to make.
Hopefully,
All right.
start charging his phone more often.
Why do you say that?
Because he was putting screenshots up today or yesterday where like his phone was like on that red sliver of battery, and
Nice.
then it makes
Wait.
me nervous.
I like
for
that.
him.
I like that.
We gotta get this out of the way now. I need an answer from both of you. Are you guys the people who frantically charge their phone when it gets below 50%, or are you the people that I'm waiting until the end of this bitch? I don't care. 1%, and I'm sitting here turning on battery save mode, sending texts.
Oh, I charge early and often.
It depends how I'm feeling that day, Josh. If I want to live dangerously, I'll let it go down while the charger.
If she wants to live dangerously, she gives 20-second answers without coming on camera. I'm just joking. Come on, the people would like to see you at least once tonight.
Publius says I don't charge till it dies. I have friends where I like see their phone and it's at 3%, and I get so anxious. I'm like, oh my god, you're making me so mad.
What about you, Josh?
I mean, that's like a rebel streak.
Here, does this answer your question? This is next to me right now,
Dude,
and my phone is at 70%.
Let me just have a moment of solidarity here. I'm literally charging as we're live.
So am I. I'm at 70%. I'm totally fine. I'll survive the live.
Let's go. Let's keep these batteries charged for the environment.
For the environment, I think that's the opposite of correct.
Well, few understand this.
Yeah, I don't think you understand that.
Maybe others understand this.
State Sports Card says weed helps that. Probably true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's more efficient to use all the battery. Few.
See, I told you. Yeah, you were wrong. It's actually better for the environment to not charge.
But hey, look, if you put few understand this after it and you're accurate,
You can't be wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of like a caveat that saves every statement. Because even if you're, I think it works. Like that never.
Dude, we always find these hilarious things that everyone relates to, but nobody talks about.
In other words, things that few understand. All right.
You really want that to be the caption. You're just like force feeding it down everyone's throat.
It's suiting my mood. All right. So what's the verdict on PSA 8.5s? Are they a thing or not?
I say no.
No? I say, look, if you want it to be a thing, sing it.
5s or 5s?
PSA 8.5s. This is from our dear friend.
What do you think is the most rare grade?
PSA 1.
Nope, PSA 1.5.
I was gonna say
Trick
1.5.
question. Trick question.
Dude, think about what Kiki would have to do to get a 1.5. He's got this cool PSA 1 collection. I'd be more impressed with the PSA 1.5 book. He has to damage it just enough to get that 1.5.
I may be wrong about this. I think that there are some cards that PSA doesn't even issue a 1.5 for.
Even more rare. You're titillating me even more. You're just getting me more excited to start this 1.5 PC.
The 1.5 PC? Oh, man. All right.
Is BGS 9.5 undervalued relative to PSA 10?
Let's just not.
I like how we don't even get anything close to questions like that anymore.
True. That it's been a while since is our lower is the PSA 9
Right.
Is that the play when the PSA 10's going up?
You did get one question though that you sent me a screenshot. You're like, this person doesn't watch the show.
Oh yeah. Yep, I do have that on the list. So maybe we'll let look if we get to it. Look, I'm not gonna say if we get to it or not, but everybody out there can guess along if I read that question. All right. This is not that question. Jesse J. Pender says, what do you think about 90s acetate inserts as long-term holds? Will they all go yellow like some of the copies of Dunkin' Go Nuts have?
Yeah, I get nervous about that kind of stuff, especially from the 90s, before they kind of, figured out that technology. The newer stuff, you're fine, but anything that, like, has this is the reason I didn't own this card. This is an acetate, but the reason I didn't own this card for so long is they're all green, and it just bothers me.
Yeah, nobody quite knows what causes the green, or the green on some of the refractors and the yellow on some of the acetates.
Gene actually has answered this question before.
Come say it over here.
I don't remember the answer.
Oh, sure.
No, I wish I knew this was a question I would have asked her when she was here.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, Jake, 90s B-Ball Cards, did message me and say that Gene said that if you keep the acetate cards out of the sun, they shouldn't turn yellow. So, and I'm inclined to believe that. And that's good advice for lots of cards. Just keep them out of the sun. So
I keep them out of all light. They just stay in my box.
Yep, keep them out of the light in general. All right. I wouldn't shy away from collecting acetate cards, but just, keep them out of the light. I have one of those golden box refractors, and I just try to keep it out of the light and store it well with silica packets.
Blinded by the light.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Drake's PC said...
Who's back?
says... Josh, when can we expect to see more episodes of Cardboard Chronicles?
God, man. The guilt trips. You guys are killing me.
Yeah, right. Come on, man.
Josh, stop slacking. Like, what are you doing?
How about a Bob M track part 2? Is that too much to ask?
Oh, I like that you went straight for a suggestion there.
Yes, that's what
you want to see his face, don't you?
I don't care to see his face. That was maybe my favorite. Definitely a top 3 Cardboard Chronicles.
Nice. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I should go back and listen to that again. All right.
Was there a dog in that? Or was that made up? Was that before? Was that me?
What?
His dog? Did he talk about that?
I don't know if a dog came up.
So before we aired, it must have been his dog was barking, and I didn't really ask anything about it, but he was like, "Oh yeah, that's like my guard dog for my collection." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, what? I've got so much in my collection, so many things that I bought a dog that was specifically designed to protect my collection. So if anyone came in the house, this dog would." Oh my God, that's amazing.
This is like 2019 as well.
I love that dog.
He must have 5 dogs now.
I think it was like a German Shepherd, so, a dog that you'd walk up to and be like, "Nah, not worth it."
Nice. All right. Collectomaniac says, "What are your Halloween plans? Is any of you giving out cards? Cheap packs for kiddos." First of all, the kids in this hobby should be giving us packs.
Stupid. That was dumb.
That's the first thing. Second of all,
you're gonna be taking their cards from them.
Yeah. Second of all, do you have any Halloween plans?
Well, I have children, so yes, of course. I did buy Pokemon cards for our neighbor, who I heard complaining that he doesn't have enough Pokemon cards, so I bought him some packs. We'll see what he says. I'll give them to him on Halloween, and we will be going to the neighborhood adjacent to us. Ours is it's a good neighborhood, but there's a neighborhood over yonder that has just the best candy, so we'll be going over there.
Nice. So you overheard the kids say, "Hey, I wish I had some more Pokemon cards," and you were like, "Oh, okay, I got you."
Basically. I mean, he was kind of whining about it, my cards aren't great, boo-hoo. I was like, well, here's some packs. Nice.
I wish I had a few more optical buttons.
I see what you did there.
Let's just see if this works.
Well, I'm going to bring you a Christian McCaffrey Select Gold.
Right. That's right.
Yep.
That'll have to do. All right, that'll do.
Halloween in the Hoge House is the official kickoff for Christmas, so...
Yeah, Christina somehow commandeered Halloween and turned it into a part of Christmas.
Yeah.
What? I'm so confused. Start from the beginning.
I'm not a Halloween person. I like myself too much to dress up as other people. So...
If only we all had that problem.
Exactly. So, so I watch Christmas movies on Halloween to kick off the Christmas season.
Oh, like Hallmark movies?
That's right.
Yes, that's
That
exactly what
she
I do.
blushes now whenever that comes up. Like she says like Halloween is the occasion to start, but she watches those in July.
I do.
Dude, I'm definitely the dad, where all the other dads in our neighborhood dress up, and I'm just wearing like shorts and a t-shirt, and they're like, "What are you supposed to be?" And I'm like, "Fuck off." Nothing.
Are you and the other dads you know throwing back a few while you're walking around?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Last year I think we had like because last year, my daughter was only 2, so we had like the wagon thing that we rolled her around, and I had like a little cooler area thing. So yeah.
Nice.
Can we take a moment and give the VIP comment of the chat to That Boy Serious, who says the major collectors give out toothbrushes on Halloween.
That's
That's a good one.
To that one.
Yeah, that went over my head at first, but look,
Zing.
you understand this.
That's a good one.
That's fantastic.
And it's got like their business card attached to the toothbrush. Hey, if you need dental work.
After all this candy you eat.
All right. Stacking Gems wants to know, when can we see you chug a Truly, which he misspelled, with Josh? There's no E in Truly. Am I right?
You're right. Well, the people at Truly are assholes. So tonight I'm trying Vizzy.
Oh, nice. Trying to get some visibility for Vizzy?
Yeah, and also suck it, Truly. If you guys are going to keep ignoring me, then you know what? This is what you get.
Yeah, no more free branding, if you understand that.
I've sent like 150 messages to various people who work for the Boston Beer Company, which owns Truly, and I can't get anyone to respond to me, Josh.
The arrogance.
I know.
So would you chug a beer with me? That's what the audience wants to know.
Well, do you chug them? I don't think I've ever seen you chug one.
I'm really not a chugger. In fact, the more people chant chug chug, the more I like sip it pretentiously.
Have you ever shotgunned? I'm sure you've done that.
Nope. Nah. Never. I was never much of a party or college guy,
So you've never done a keg stand upside down from a giant's keg? No?
Does this somehow make you think less of me now?
Oh, no, I'm not here to judge, if you understand that.
God, you're just really pushing this.
But, no, I mean, look, I don't understand, look, beer, you can chug it, there's a time and place. There's a time and a place for everything. I like Heinekens. The last time I drank Heinekens, they were like $12 a beer, a bottle at the bar, and they're still expensive if you get them from the grocery store. So why would I chug that, and waste? Just feels like a waste. I got to get my money's worth out of it.
I think at this Suns Mavs game, we got to chug something.
What do I get at the Mavs games? I get Coronas.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I love Corona.
Yeah, Corona will do. And you can get
You have 2 tickets, right?
What?
What's that?
You have 2 tickets, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Is that going to get awkward?
Oh, no. We have a third seat for when you're here.
Oh, how does that work?
That's one of the privileges of being a season ticket holder.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh
I didn't
my
want
God!
to bring that out, but you asked, and more need to understand.
Hello,
Look,
Mr. Hodge. Would you like a third?
Look, we may or may not know the attendee to our section on a first name basis.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Damn. Do you know Mr. Mark Cuban? Have you met this guy?
I mean, look,
No.
Cuban, I think. I saw Cuban trying to come over to our area the other day, but
It's like pushing through.
We told him to sit his ass down and stop talking to refs during. I don't know.
Chris, it's me, Mark.
it's like, I heard what you said on the crossover.
But our friend who sometimes listens to this podcast, Kevin Jaraj, who is a photographer of sports cards and works for USA Today and like the different magazines, who takes pictures at Mavs games.
Can you get to the punchline of the story?
He came to visit us, and he like smoothed the way. So our attendant at our section was very impressed that we knew people.
Christina's story is we know an important person at the game.
We do.
So wait, you mean the attendant for like your seats, the person who like brings you drinks and stuff?
No, like he's the usher.
Oh, the usher.
Yeah.
Question though.
There is someone who comes around during the game though, and like you can buy beer from him, and like during the game.
Yes, Christina's on a high horse right now.
Question though.
There's people at like in the way up high bleachers. Oh my god, I hate you.
Okay, go ahead.
Question. When Chris and I are sitting in the 2 main season tickets, where's Christina gonna sit?
Right next to us.
Oh, it's like how does that work?
You talk to your representative for your season tickets. You say, "I need
So
a third ticket."
the tickets around you are not season tickets.
Well, apparently not.
No,
at least one of them
sold
isn't.
out.
Yeah, at least one of them isn't.
So you've already got that one on lock?
Yeah.
You guys are just like, I say I'm coming, and you're just like, apartment, boom, ticket, boom.
Very, very few. You know. You know.
In fact, only two people. You guys.
That's right. Now 3. Okay. Also, the tall boy Coronas, they 1 per half. You know, will get the job done, but they're always available. There's just as many, and the tall boys go down smooth. You can inadvertently chug if you're not careful.
So I'm big on when there's a host and then person being hosted scenario, right? That the host is just like, here's the way it goes, here's what you do, and I'm the guy that's like, just tell me what to do, tell me where to go,
100%.
tell me what to drink, what price to pay. Because when I take you guys to a Suns game, I park in the car, I know where we're going, I know where the tickets are on my phone, like, you know what I mean?
Well, we've taken as much of the logistics out of the equation as possible. So it's literally just walk over here, and then
Is someone going to guide us to our seats? Because this is sounding pretty posh as we go through this.
I mean, look, basically, like, you just walk in a straight line from the door to the seats. Like, it's very hard to mess up.
I'm in.
It's very difficult to get wrong. All right. So I don't know if we're ever going to chug anything stacking gems.
I mean, at this point, when we get to the game, I'm going to be like, Stacking Gems said we had to chug these beers, so here we go.
Right. Yeah, maybe that'll be one for the gram. Okay.
Oh, fuck. Never mind. I'm out.
All right. Throwback Sports Card says, we need you to read an excerpt from The Goat of Grails.
Oh, okay. Let's see what Brett has to say today.
All right. All right, look, otherwise he's all set. So, Stiff Arm Wax purchased this book. And look, I'm going to tell you something. He posted an excerpt, and it resonated. So here it is. So first of all, here's what the book looks like. This is a real book. The Goat.
You can also download it on your Kindle.
You can download it on your Kindle as well. The Goat of Grails by Braxton Britton Brogan at Brax Ball Cards. And here's a passage for the audience. Another Brax bit for you. TM. If your branded content doesn't encourage viewers to smash like and slap subscribe, then you're not a content creator. And you'll never be a goat. You're just some clown making content. Remember, I said it a minute ago. I'll say it now. I'll say it 1,000 times if I have to. Anyone can make content. Not everyone can be a content creator. Branding. Shout out branding. When viewers hear you say smash the like button, they know you're for real, bro. Shout out smashing the like button. Anyway, back to the morning after posting my first video. Okay, so.
That's amazing. How long is the book? How many pages is it?
I want to say it was 165.
It was 96 on the
96
Kindle.
on the Kindle? Okay.
And it's all, like, not filler content? Like, it's stuff like that? Where he's, like, actually writing words?
It's conversational, like, first-person narrative, talking directly to you.
I mean,
Dude, imagine that dedicated to a joke where you write a 165-page book as a joke.
Hey, this is a joke, Josh.
Imagine doing like 3 hours of jokes every Friday night. All right.
Good point.
All right. No. Look, I need to get this book. Like, why? Like, I don't know. Stiff, have you read it?
It's literally on my Kindle.
Dude, it probably changed his fucking life.
He's probably slapping a subscribe button right now.
He's probably rich as hell already. He skipped all that. He's to the phase 7, which is like he's rich.
Dude, he's about to have the whole hobby collecting multiplayer patch cards.
He's gonna. It's pretty good.
All right. Christina's jealous. She is. I don't know why she hasn't read it yet.
So is Nick gonna be at the game as well?
No, Nick's not coming out. I don't know if Nick will be at that game or not. I don't know. But
Since you're so like connected, can't you guys get 4 seats?
yeah, we could pull a few strings.
ask our usher. Hey, can you get us the 4th ticket? He's like, whoa, easy there, Haj. We only have 3.
So, well, look, they'll say that, then I'll give them my take on why Dwight Powell only played 4 minutes in the playoffs, and they'll know they're dealing with a different level of content creator at that point.
They'll know that few know that.
Yeah. Oh, Drake's PC also says WWE Raw is coming to the American Airlines Center on Monday night. Is that Halloween? Is WWE Raw? It is Halloween.
Man, that's spooky.
What would it take for us to go, Christina?
I already answered this.
She said that Drake and Brett from Stacking Slabs have to come out.
That's a good response.
Yep, and then she'd go. Okay.
I've been to a wrestling event once in my life. Do you know this? I was super young. I don't really remember it, but I've been to one.
Nice. Well,
It was WCW.
okay. I mean, look, that's more than I can say. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I would need to see how much the tickets cost first. That's
Name 3 wrestlers. Go.
The Undertaker, Chris
Nope,
Jericho,
he's retired. Nope, got to be active. Out.
Roman Reigns.
The Rock.
Nope,
The Rock
retired.
active? No.
He's always active.
Hulk Hogan.
No, God, what?
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake. That's good.
I don't know who that.
That's good right there.
The only Jake
Ric
the
Flair.
Snake I know is Jake Plummer from the Arizona Cardinals.
And ASU. He went to my alma mater.
Wow, look at that. All right. Hometown Authentic says, can we talk about King of the Cards $1 challenge? This is what someone should make a movie about. Yeah, here's my opinion on that. If you can turn $1 into 15 grand or whatever it is right now, why don't you do it 100 times over? And then take the proceeds and get some kids in this hobby.
Bingo.
Okay. We're getting pretty close to the end here.
Thank God.
Mostly 90s basketball cards had this question. Look, I'm just going to say this question, and we can reply to it or not. It'll be the last question we discuss. Panini has granted you 3 wishes to make changes to next year's basketball card product. What changes would you like to see?
I mean, every idiot knows that the first thing I ask for is more wishes.
Amen.
True.
Do you understand
Maybe.
this?
Do you understand that? 3 changes? I got one, and it's the only. You can have my other 2 wishes. You can take them and shove them wherever you want.
I will put
Take
them in a safe place.
You get 5, motherfucker. Release the fucking cards at a time that makes sense. Prism released now. NT a month from now. Done.
Yeah, you know that the hobby's in a weird place when that's what we use our wish on. But we do.
All right, 5 wishes go. Make Chronicles your #1 product. 2.
Yeah. Fucking Chronicles. I don't know. I don't do that. This is not my strong spot. It's not my strong suit. I don't do these. I don't. What 5 wishes? I like things how they are. I deal with things as they come. I don't.
I was at Target last night and I had Chronicles. Did I fuck up by not buying all those boxes?
No.
Oh.
Nope. I think you'll you can show your face around your house. You did not make a big mistake.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but it is interesting that retail is back on the shelves. Ho hum. Wasn't it more exciting when it wasn't? I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll leave that one up for debate. All right. That's going to do it for this week's show. Christine and I have a very busy weekend. We've got 1 Dallas Stars game and 2 Mavericks games, and I'm excited.
Woo-wee. Wait, two
Two
Mavs games?
back to back against the Magic and the Thunder.
And you're going to a Stars game?
Dude, and the Stars game is tomorrow afternoon. The Mavs game is tomorrow night, and somehow they turn that arena from a hockey rink into a basketball court. I don't know how they do it.
We watched.
You should stay and find out.
We already watched the
try.
YouTube video.
We'll see if they let us. We'll see if they would let us. Maybe
You're going to go back to your apartment and then go back to the game?
that might need to be what happens.
You know,
What time is the Mavs game on Sunday?
it's such a far commute that I don't know how we're going to do it, Josh, but yeah, we will.
Suffer through. Be strong.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See everybody next week.
We're reaching the top.
A lot has changed since Card Ladder began. We started with 500 cards in our database, and now we have over 3 million cards and over 30 million sales.
For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
With Card Ladder's sales history feature, we have virtually every card in our system. If the card you are looking for ever sold on one of these platforms, you can find it using Card Ladder's sales history, and you can add a card to your collection with just one click.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Plus, every card, no matter the last time it sold, has an estimated value that we calculated using our state-of-the-art player indexes. Unlike other apps, when you see Card Ladder's verified checkmark, that means a researcher personally vetted each and every sale.
We know what it takes to be reaching the top.
We know what you want, because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors.
Know what it takes to be reaching the top.
Join the innovators, not the imitators. Card Ladder 2.0, constantly innovating. Try it for free. See why Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data.
We know what it takes to be reaching the top.
Card Ladder 2.0.